We're here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Orleans Hotel and Casino for the International Women's Boxing Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. It's the combined years of 2020 and 2021. And my special guest with me right now is the coal miner's daughter, Christy Martin. Hello, Christy. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing really well. COVID-free, I hope.
Absolutely. Vaccinated and everything.
There we go. It's hard to begin an interview with you because I don't know where to start. You've accomplished so much in your career, in the ring and out of the ring. You had, 59 professional bouts. You actually seem to be the one that put women's boxing on the map. What can you tell us about your days in the ring?
Yeah, well, you know what? I was fortunate as far as putting women's boxing on the map. I had a great opponent, Deidre Gogarty, and we together really made people stand up and take notice of women's boxing. Don King gave us a wonderful opportunity, and Mike Tyson drew everybody there. So we were just in the right place at the right time, and both of us ready to take advantage of the exposure.
When you took advantage of that, and it was very successful for not only you but all of women's boxing. Before that, it would seem like to many people a joke to have women in the ring. You know, a lot of them thought it would be a cat fight, or they don't know how to fight, they don't have the talent or skills. What were your thoughts on that, and were you out just to try to prove everybody wrong?
My whole thing was bell to bell. I have to punch, I have to show people the difference, and that it's not just a cat fight, it's not a sideshow. We are fighters, and that's what I think on that night in way back in 1996. We showed the world that women could fight as well.
Well, women's boxing has come a long ways. And there's so many women boxers out there now that are so skillful and talented, and they're getting the recognition. One of the problems, though, is the pay scale. They're not bringing it anywhere close to what men are obtaining, and yet the women fight just as hard, if not harder, than a lot of the men.
Absolutely. I mean, on the business side of it, it's really all about who brings the most people, the viewers. And if there's a woman fighter that brings the most views to the venue, to the event, then that's who's going to get paid. If I Christy Martin Promotions right now, if I have a woman fighter that sells tickets, that fills the house, she's going to get paid. There's no disparity, between a male and a female fighter.
Mm-hmm. As I've mentioned before to some of the women that are being inducted this evening, when there is a women's fight on the card, it's gotten to the point now where the fans look at it as two people in the ring actually fighting and putting on a good show. They don't say, oh, those are just two girls up there and doing their thing, or this is going to be a cat fight. They actually look at it as two fighters up there.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what it has taken. It's not about being a woman fighter. It's about being a fighter, and that's what I tried to do throughout my career. I didn't want people to say, oh, well, she's good for a woman fighter. No, I wanted to be good for a fighter. Mm-hmm. And I think if we moved on, it's 20 some years later, that's where we are. We're now looked at as just a fighter, and not so much it's a woman's fight that's coming on up next. It's a fight. So that we just have to entertain the crowd, and that's what it takes. It's about entertaining the crowd, keeping those fans excited on the edge of their seat, and selling tickets.
You mentioned your Christy Martin Promotions, and you're involved in a lot of other things. Can you give us a little information on all the things that you do?
For sure. We do Christy Martin Promotions, but most importantly to me is Christy's Champs, and that's my nonprofit for domestic violence awareness. I go around the country. I speak at domestic violence events, jails, high schools, any place that anybody will let me talk about domestic violence and to bring that awareness to the people. That's what I do.
And because you do all of this, 2 years ago, you were presented by this organization, the International Women's Boxing Hall of Fame, with the Lifetime Achievement Award, and that had to be a great honor for you.
Absolutely. I mean, just the thought of there's a Women's Boxing Hall of Fame. Can you imagine that, when I started boxing, that there was any thought of a Women's Boxing Hall of Fame? I mean, when I started boxing, there wasn't even a thought of women's boxers. So to get to the point of now there's a Hall of Fame, it's unbelievable and outstanding.
We want to congratulate you for everything you've done with women's boxing, from being in the ring as a fighter to the things you do outside, your promotions and all. And you've added so much to the sport of boxing for women. And I know that it's just something that you're thrilled with, and you get the praise and recognition that you deserve for doing that.
I appreciate it, but my whole thing is let's just bring women's boxing to the forefront, and at some point it's going to be, as you said earlier, it's just another fight. It's not about it's a women's fight. We all know that. Mm-hmm. Let's just make another exciting fight, and hey, if that's the best fight of the night on the show, give them credit.
Many times they are the best fights of the night.
Absolutely, because it's it's bell to bell action.
Yes, it is. I've been watching fights for many, many years, ring announcing for so many fights, and I see the compassion that the girls have for the fights. They do it with all the guts and their hearts are in it. And again, they're not making much money. They're there to fight and put on the show, and they love it.
Women boxers are there because they love the sport, because you're right. I mean, it's not the oh wow, if I can get to that championship level, I'm going to make millions of dollars. No, we don't have that, even that thought mentality. It's because we want to be the best.
When you started out boxing, did you think that your career would lead you to where you are right now, doing all the things you do and all the things that you did do?
Absolutely not. When I started boxing, I couldn't tell you 10 women that boxed. So it was just like, I'm going to do this. I was just wanted to do it. I loved it. I loved the sport. I loved the competition. I loved the let me show you that I can do this when people were telling me you couldn't. But never in my wildest dreams could I imagine that it would get this far.
Well, it's come a long way. And again, we have you to thank for being right there at the start of really getting this going. I know there's boxers we've honored that fought in the 40s and the 50s. A couple of them are in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. But it was somebody like you that really brought it out so that it was brought to the attention of the average boxing fan, the writers, and everybody else, the TV people, the whole world. And you've done a great job with it.
Thank you, sir. You know what? I was in the right place at the right time and ready to take advantage of that opportunity. But yes, women have been boxing since the 1800s and before. So, yeah, we can't lump all that on me. But I think I was in the right place at the right time. And Don King, Showtime, everybody gave me a great opportunity and took advantage of it.
Well, we want you to enjoy the evening tonight. Go mingle with all your friends, all the other fighters that are here. Enjoy the whole presentation. Thank you for being here, and it's just been a pleasure for me to interview you and have the chance to stand next to such a great person. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Christy Martin, our guest here at the International Boxing Hall of Fame.